Hello?
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Hello?
Hey, Bill, how you doing? This is Pace.
Hey, how are you?
Really good. Hey, I've got a buyer coming down from Alaska, trying to buy. They own a restaurant, so they can't qualify for like a traditional mortgage. They claim zero on their taxes. Your property on Cave Creek, the Cave Creek property, would your sellers entertain a seller finance deal?
So, so this is the call that was scheduled at 3:30?
Yes, sir.
That's raw land.
Oh, interesting.
So you're talking about the one on or whatever it is?
Yeah.
So the problem is there's like 3 lots that have that same address.
Okay.
The APN number on this lot is raw land.
Got it. I think that's what my team got messed up.
Yeah, the one at the top of the house, top of the street is a house, and does have a house on it. This is a lot that needs to be built.
Okay, cool. Is it ready? Is it already have the improvements like water, power, sewer?
It has utility access. Yeah, they all do.
Okay.
It's on a hill, on a rock, and so everything's above ground.
Nice.
Even the water, it runs over through PVC or whatever piping the city uses to run your water right over. But yeah, it can be built out. But it's steep. It's a great view lot, and it's very rare. But it's going to need some excavation. Okay,
probably a different buyer than my Alaska buyers, but let's say if I go to my buyers list for people that are looking for Cave Creek, would your sellers do like a seller carry while they do their build?
So just so you know, my wife is the agent. I'm a partner, but I'm not a principal on this land. I'm a partner with the guy, Greg, who actually owns the land, his company.
Got it.
We have a business together. So my wife had just given me the number because he doesn't really know real estate and I do. And so I've been helping him with him. But to answer your question is, yes, I can get him on the phone. If there's a down payment and they were interested in an owner carry, Greg would entertain. You know, we would pretty much be open to most anything that would make sense for everybody.
Okay, cool.
So that is possible, yeah.
Do you know a good builder up in that area if I had a buyer that wanted to build?
Yeah, I have a guy named Steezer who I work with quite a bit, who's a GC and licensed to do it and has all the trades for it. And then I've got a pretty good architect. Brian would be, I've been working with him since 2019.
Okay.
Would entertain it. Or of course, you know, there's many architects, but I have, you know, I've been in the industry in real estate development and buying and selling and flipping here as an investor since 2007. So I have a pretty good idea and pretty good contacts. So that's possible too.
If you were going to invest in that lot, let's say to do like a spec, what would you do on that lot? Have you thought about that?
I hadn't. Well, I mean, Greg and I were thinking about it, but we got so involved in this Walmart business of ours that that's even why we listed him, because he's had him for like a year. But it would definitely be. I mean, I would definitely put up a 2-story. There's a lot of options for that lot.
What are you doing? What are you doing with Walmart, brother?
Greg brokered a lot of transactions with. His company is Clean Urban Living, Cole Inc., and that's who you'll see owns that property. And so he would broker, even that's how I got to know him, is from the tennis club. But then through real estate, he would broker. He had a lot of subcontractors that he would use, and then he would broker them. And he would put the right clean contractors with builders or developers, right? And so he has a partner out in New York, and together they worked out a deal with Walmart, and now we have Taylor Malls for I want to say Taylor. I'm almost positive it's Taylor. With Walmart and now with the malls, where we can put what happened. We originally 2 years ago built a contract with Walmart where we go in and lease out a certain number of spaces in the front, right, where you check out next to like the bank and McDonald's.
Yeah.
And we could put solar in there. The problem was solar has so much fraud involved in it. They were not reporting royalties because Walmart is getting a lease from us and then they're getting a royalty on top. So now we're going strictly in the Walmarts. Right now we look like we're doing the clean water. And the guy wants 200 locations. So we book out like 25 locations at a time. We have a master lease with Walmart and then we sublet it out. They let us sublet it out. And then we rent it out. We take the responsibility and then they take a cut. And then we take a cut. So we also are working with a contract with Meyer on the Midwest, and then we have the mall. I want to say Taylor. I don't know why I'm spacing the name, but it's the largest mall. Like the 5th largest mall in the country is in LA. We have that mall. They're owned by Taylor Malls, and so we have like 2,000 malls that we can work with.
Damn.
If we choose to, yeah. So we're filling them right, and those malls we can put solar in. And we can also we're putting in like flooring contractors, roofing contractors, and that sort of thing in the Walmarts.
What do you guys need more of? Do you just need like investors? What do you guys need?
Oh, we could use an investor. Yeah, we have one guy right now that I was doing some flips with that I raised money for, and I mean he's getting a pretty significant return, like 20 grand a month on his investment.
Oh wow! What do you got? What's your guys'? Have you guys put a fund together, or is this just like friends and family type of thing?
It's not a PPM or anything. It's private money.
Okay.
At this point, because we haven't really needed that much money. The only problem was we had one client in the solar, took 19 stores, filled 6 of them, and then went dormant, went cold. We were responsible for a year's worth of leases on 19 stores with Walmart.
Damn.
Because he had committed to them. Yeah, so it set us back about 9 months based on all that stuff. And Walmart kicked solar completely out. So we can't sublease the solar anymore in Walmart's, only in the malls.
Got it.
But we have, we've got not a portfolio. We've got a business plan if you need. We've got the financials if you want to see it. If we would look for, we would need people that are interested in like if you knew a guy who happened to want to expand, and maybe he was an electric company or a plumbing company or a flooring company, and they wanted a location. See, the thing is when they go to these malls and they go to Walmart, you can't get in. It might take 12 to 14 months to get in, right? And you got to do the build out. Here, we can have all that done for you in 2 weeks. You're in because we already have the lease. We already have the space, and they just sublet it. Walmart doesn't have to approve them. They don't have to background check them. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to have any reserves. They don't have to have anything to get in. And you can have 2,000 people a day going through your front space. And if you have a salesperson out in front, and we train the salespeople, if you have a salesperson out front, you're getting 200 leads an hour.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think I could help out with like the people that are trying to expand, but I definitely have a ton of investors. If somebody cut a check for, let's say 100K, do you guys have any sort of return profile or like a interest rate you're paying people?
We would probably do, let me do the math real quick. We would pay like $100,000 return in 18 months. And then we'd give you another 12 months of like $200 a store. And right now we're at like 50 stores.
So if I cut a check for 100K, I get a check for back in
for 200K.
For 200K.
Return on top of it, yeah.
Dude, that's freaking amazing.
It's pretty good return. There's a lot of money because I mean, like I said, there's just and right now we have we do need a little more capital, to be honest. And that's essentially 200 grand would put us over the edge. So 100 grand would be significant for us to get over the hump. And like I said, the guy flew in from LA that owns the largest distributor of clean water, like purified water.
Uh-huh.
And he has like 2,000 different vendors that he works with, and he's committed to 200 stores. He wants to start at 25, so we're trying to write that contract right now, and that's in the Walmarts because Walmart will give us 2,000 stores.
Damn. You and I should meet, bro. Where do you live?
I live in a Biltmore.
I love the Biltmore.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling. I was like, a guy named Bill probably plays tennis, probably lives in the Biltmore.
That's funny. Where are you at?
I'm in Mesa. I live in the Orange Groves in Mesa, but my office is South Scottsdale. We're right on the water in like Tempe Town Lake area. Oh
yeah, for sure. I was just down in Tempe.
This is great. either myself or other buddies of mine maybe we all pull in like 25K each, and I get like 6 to 8 guys together, and we go, partner with you guys on this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy that just came in, like I said, I put in a lot of money about 2 years ago with Greg. You'll meet Greg. We have our office is right off of 40th and Camelback.
Nice.
And then, but he, like I said, the guy just flew in from LA, so we had a great meeting with him the last 2 days, and then he just flew back. And then, so actually, I haven't even called Greg today, but we would meet you in a heartbeat. And I just raised so our first payment to him was January 1st. So just last November, I raised 125 grand from my buddy out of Seattle, who used to lend me money on flips. But when I told him about this deal, he's like, holy crap. He's like, he was 100% in. So
I love it. I'm flying to Atlanta for the next 5 days. I'll be back like Tuesday, Wednesday. Can I shoot you a text and maybe we meet at my office?
Let's get together mid to late week next week. That'd be great.
All right, brother. Send me anything like via text, PDF, whatever you got, and I'll go through it. And then
text me your email, and then also text me what this buyer out of Alaska is looking for.
Okay.
I have maybe 2 houses that I might be interested in selling on owner financing, depending on what they're doing.
Okay.
One is at mid-central Phoenix, not as great location, but great house. It's at and the other one is in Scottsdale at
oh, that's killer location.
yeah, that's a 3-2. I fully remodeled it, 200 grand, and it's got a pool.
Okay, love that.
It's right by that new PD mall.
Okay, yeah. Will you text me both those addresses, and I'll send those over to Bill and see if he's interested in either one of them?
Okay.
All right, brother.
I can send you the Airbnb link.
Oh, that'd be great. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
You're the man. Appreciate you.
All right. You got it, Chase. You got it. I'll get this info. I'm heading to the gym, but I'll get this info to you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Email to you. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Later. It's a really good thing I follow my script. Actually, what was meant to be a house, we thought it was the house up the street or down the street or something.
There's 3 lots there that have the same address.
Yes. That's how it is in my Montana house. Like the Amazon guy delivers it to all of our wrong neighbors because they subdivided, and the address is the same. It's like, 702 West Kaufman Lane -1 -2 -3. So everybody gets confused. So I call Bill, and I was actually calling about a house originally. He goes, well, that's a problem. There's no house on this lot. I'm like, okay. I go, cool, Bill. Well, you sound like a freaking cool dude. What else are you working on? What else do you have going on? He goes, I've got this cool Walmart contract. I go, can I lend money on it? He goes, yeah, you can lend money on it. And so here he is. We're going to talk about his Walmart deal, all the cool things that these 2 guys are working on. So to give you guys context of who everybody here is they're all part of a really cool community we call the Subto community. And we buy real estate primarily with seller finance and Subto, taking over payments, and we buy businesses, and we do a lot of lending. We have like 15,000 private money lenders in our community. There you go. We got a lot of people. So some people in here might even throw some money into this deal if And so what happens is once every Thursday, I just tell everybody in the community, hey, we'll do like big events. If you look back there, we'll do big events on top of mountains. Like that was in Montana. We had 600 people climb to the top of this mountain, tallest mountain in Montana. And we'll just do really cool things. And Thursdays is a day that I just tell people, hey, if you want to come hang out at my office and see what I do and watch me, then so we call that Day with Pace. And so they fly in from London, Canada. They fly in from Florida. They fly in from all over. We had a girl from Israel a couple of weeks ago and somebody from Korea a couple of months ago. And so people just fly in, hang out, and then we do an activity during the day. And the activity is usually like jumping out of planes, flying Black Hawk helicopters, shooting guns, a lot of shooting guns this year. We blew up a lot of stuff this year. And then, do you guys know what we're doing tonight? No. Okay, cool. Well, you'll do the buyer showcase, but I feel bad that you have to be there for that. You'll learn how to make a lot of money, which is good. So anyway, we were going to meet yesterday. Bill and I were going to meet yesterday, but there were some wires that were crossed. So I was like, oh, man, the only time I have is tomorrow. Are you okay being in a group of 20 people? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'm cool with it. So they're here to tell me about your guys' Walmart deal and see what we can do to write a check and do some cool stuff with you guys. So catch me up to speed. What are you guys doing? What are you working on?
Yeah, so Walmart has a lot of inventory in that front end space.
Is it kind of like Costco when you're leaving Costco? They have like these kiosks that they're trying to sell you stuff. Is that kind of how it is?
Not exactly, but
Okay.
same concept.
Same concept, but they
These
have
are actual.
But they have actual store, like the eyeglass stores usually there. At McDonald's is
Yeah.
in Walmart.
Yeah, you
and
walk
then
in, they're to the left, they're like
bank.
tucked back. Okay, cool, yeah.
Right in front of the cash.
Are those owned by Walmart? Or are they like vendors?
Those are vendors.
Okay, so they're renting the space.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So what we do is we come in and we take a lot of that unused space. It's very hard to get into Walmart. It takes about a year.
Dang, okay.
To go through that process. So we're already vetted. We take that space and we provide contractors an opportunity to occupy that space while it's available. It's mobile, so we can move them from space to space. Any space in the country we can get within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Contractors go in, face-to-face marketing. They generate 15, 20 appointments every day. They make their money. They pay us. We make our money. That's basically how it works. The exciting
So a
part-
typical tenant would be like who? Like a solar company or like who?
It was solar. That
It was,
primarily
yeah.
what we did, but they lived up to that reputation and got kicked out. The whole industry.
Okay, cool. They got kicked out by Walmart or just, okay, got it.
Any other home service contractor is kind of a lot of window and door companies, a lot of roofing companies.
Like a rebath type of thing, kind of like Home Depot bought out rebath. They put rebath like trailers in front of Home Depot, so when you're walking in and out of Home Depot, basically you got a vendor out front.
So Renewal
Okay.
by Anderson, they're a part of it. Jacuzzi, Window Depot, those are the bigger companies that's in our program.
Okay.
We just made a deal actually 2 days ago where we have the exclusive on water treatment companies. Alkaline water filtration systems for the home. So the only way they could get into Walmart is through us. They also allowed us to do water stores inside where they could sell 5-gallon jugs of the
Treated
alkaline water. Primarily through Pure Life Filter, which does all the alkaline water systems for the military. So they're going to be opening at least 250 locations this year. And
All through you guys.
all through us. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're sending out some press to about 17,000 dealers coming through Monday.
So are you guys basically, you're arbitraging the space, which means you sign the lease, which is what I imagine part of the capital would be used for, is to sign the lease on these individual stores.
pay them till they're full.
Okay. And then you pay for the lease. Do you do the tenant improvement, or does the tenant come in and do their own tenant improvement? Okay.
So with the water stores, every dealer that comes in has to buy the equipment from Perfect Filter, and then they build out the space, and it's very clean, just white tables in the machines,
Okay.
simple, movable, and
But the caveat, the bonus to that is that we've agreed with them that they're going to put it, so they're going to rent a space that's 400 feet or 250 feet.
no, it's typically about 600-700 square feet.
Yeah, okay. But they're taking half of it,
Okay.
and we get to put in another vendor in the other half. So we have 2 for 1.
So yeah, and this is new. So it's not half. It's,
Right.
We're able to put a marketing station like the Costco thing up front as well. So for our marketing stations, we typically charge $2,500 to $3,500 a month. For the space, we charge $6,000 a month, but they're able to get that space at that price. $8,000, but they don't have to pay a rev share. So rev share is was the big barrier because Walmart always charges a rev share, and so with solar companies, they'll do 16 deals a month, but then they got a $75,000, $80,000 revenue share. Right? So with the way we have it set up now, there's no rev share. You just pay that one flat fee, and you get to sell as much as you want with no extra cost, which is crazy. And we get to do the same thing. We get to put 2 different vendors in, and we make a decent amount per store. Really no.
Okay. So let's say somebody cuts you a check for $200K. Where's that money go? Like, does it go to 5 stores, 10 stores? What does that look like?
So that's right now. We have about 40 locations total.
Okay, so you have 40 locations, but that 200K wouldn't do all 40 locations, I imagine, right?
No.
So you would do, I mean, you would take more money, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. How many locations would 200K do? Rough ballpark. And would they be here local or would they be anywhere in the country?
They're all over the country.
Okay,
All
so
over
you-
the country.
So you wouldn't dictate that. Your vendor that comes in and goes, let's say, the filter company, they would come in and go, hey guys, we want these 6 locations. You go, okay. And then you have to jump on those 6 locations.
Right. So we have a running map of everything that's available. Whatever they want. They can
Okay,
have.
cool. So the 200K goes to where?
So 200K would just go to operating expenses building out. So we have the upfront capital to get the spaces.
Okay.
Once they get in, they pay us.
Okay, cool. So your upfront spaces, you're renting them from Walmart at what?
Our cost is 6.
6K a month?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at 6K a month for the 600 square foot space. So the pure water purification company would come in here for this, and then you'd get a second vendor in here.
Right.
The water filtration company rents it from you at 8. Okay. They're in charge of their own tenant improvement. They're in charge of their own repairs. They're in charge of everything. So you're netting 2K just on that space.
Right.
Then you go rent this to a second company in your program.
Right.
And you would rent this space for a reduced amount because it's a little bit smaller.
25 to 3,500.
Okay, so $2,500. Okay, got it. And there's no rev share to Walmart in either one of these.
No.
So essentially, you're arbitraging. Well, you're not arbitraging the space. You're actually renting the space. You're actually spending
Almost
the money.
subleasing it.
Yeah, you're subleasing. So you're going 10,000. So you're making $4,500 a month on
store.
just per store. Holy crap!
Yeah.
They've given us, what, 2,000 store
We have
options so far.
access to 2,000 stores.
Wow.
Walmart. The thing is, like, the key is that and we've got to deal with Simon Malls too. The key is you can't get in. So you got to have reserves, application. It takes a year to get it. If you were to just, if you own Pace Morby's Roofing, then you would try to get in there. This is going to be a great place. I'm going to have 200 people a minute or an hour walking through in front of my store. I'm going to train some people to go out front, grab their information, set an appointment, go sell them the water or whatever the case is, right?
Right.
So it would take you 10, 12 months for Walmart, if they approve you, to approve you and get into the location. We can have you in there in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. So you go 200K. Obviously goes as far as it goes, and then you guys continue to roll that money, or you guys now you have a story to tell, which is great because now you've done, let's say, 5, 10 locations, whatever. You have a story to tell, which then compounds. Through that cash flow, you return the investors' money. Also, through that story, those investors probably roll that money back in, and during that time frame, you probably had 10 or 15 other people that are like, hey, I want to jump into this thing too because I heard that you guys have already done 5 stores. Because the challenge is whenever you're starting to raise capital for something like this, it's like, okay, show me one location. And you're like, oh, we don't have one yet.
Yeah, but we do.
Oh, you have them on contract, right? Like you have the right to them, but you haven't filled any of them quite.
We filled.
Oh, you've already filled some.
Oh, yeah. And before, we had enough capital before, but the solar debacle was the problem, and Walmart kicked everybody out. But then a lot of them had 6-month leases. We had to let them run out before they could get out. On top of that, but Walmart said no because they were essentially just doing the same reputation they always do. They were just skimming the top and not recording and all those types of things. But it was more, yeah.
So they were basically trying to avoid paying profit share.
Yes.
So they were doing what the federal government does and just skimming the money. Do you guys see that they were sending $50 million in condoms to Gaza? You guys not see that? Bro. What's that? No, to Gaza. $50 million in condoms. And they're like, oh, well, and then their justification is like, well, we're making bombs with them. Anyway, so they're skimming the top, and then Walmart comes in and says, this is BS, you guys are scamming us, get the heck out of here.
Yep. So I want to make it differentiate solar from everything else. This program with the solar was new. Walmart did not allow solar in before we came in. They just didn't like the industry. They didn't like the reputation. They didn't like the people that they dealt with in the past. they gave us a shot, and we ran with solar for 3 years.
Yeah.
But everything they said was right. So that's why solar as an industry was taken away, because they just didn't want it anyway. They gave it a shot. So everything else is more simple and easy. And now without the rev share, it's smooth.
Okay, so you guys have a team. You guys have anybody besides yourself, like admin girls or anything like
We got
that?
admin, yeah.
Okay, and they're shuffling the paperwork, billing. Is Walmart, you pay Walmart up front for the space. So like maybe a month or two, you have an empty space until you fill that spot, right? Because let's say you go pay the rent on those spots, that then green lights that location. You've already deployed capital. You might even lose 30 to 60, maybe even 90 days on that location until your tenant moves in, does their TI and moves in the space before you guys start generating revenue. Is that correct? Or do they start renting it the second that they want to?
Yeah, so it takes us, I said, between 2 and 4 weeks to actually do the paperwork on the space. As long as the space is available, we get it. But for us, the upfront capital is minimal. We don't lose anything. It costs us about $6,000 just to secure the space. The customer comes behind and pays that once we get the space. So we
Okay.
don't lose anything.
Got
We
it.
don't take a space until we have somebody that wants the space.
Okay, and then I think Bill sent me an email breaking it down. You wrote like what are you guys offering investors and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think for the 200K, we were offering like a 42.5% return over 2 years. We would be, the offer was 50,000 guaranteed, paid back monthly, depending on however you wanted it, whether you wanted to defer it or not. In the first year, you're paid in full. And then it's another year of $50 per location, minimum 200 locations in that first year. So if we're at 400 locations, you double your money, but you've already got you've already got your principal back and the 50 grand.
Dang, where?
So it's an additional year of per location fee
Okay.
with a minimum 10 grand a month. So it's 100 and
Okay, so you've got 200K. You'd get 50K back in 12 months, so you're getting a 25% return. That's interest-only payments, obviously. In addition, $50 a store with a minimum of 200 stores at the end of 12 months.
at the end of the first 12 months for 12 months straight. So that's another 120,000 minimum.
Okay.
So 120 and 50 is 170 divided by 2, 85,000 per year. It's 42%
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
on that 200K for 2 years.
Okay. Cool. And then you guys said you'll offer the land as collateral, the one I accidentally called you about.
Yeah, we have two lots up there. We were gonna develop. We were considering it.
It's just a hell of a place to develop.
Yeah, there's definitely some hillside you'd have to go through and some excavation.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. We drove up. We've been there a few times, but this has taken more time, and we just haven't gotten to it.
Is that the Queen of England calling you?
That's actually Joel.
Oh, it's Joel Perez. Nice. He's in here. He's probably calling you, saying, hey, "Are you here?" Okay. Awesome. What do you guys think the land is worth? Oh, you have a BPO. Okay.
Yeah, the broker gave me a BPO right before we listed it. So one was 210 to 230, and the other is like 230 to 260.
Okay. Cool. And they're both paid off.
No, there's a 50K loan on each, 49,000 on each.
Okay, I see.
99
I see. I
encumbering
see.
both.
90.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
On the two lots total. Both. Yeah.
How big are they?
These are real estate investors. So they're like, how do I move on and buy these?
Oh yeah. It's up.
One is 9,800 and the other one is 11 and some change, 11,000 and some change.
And their hillside lights up at the 101 and Cave Creek Road in North Phoenix. You guys familiar with that area at all? No. Is it? It's pretty. I like.
Great
One thing
views.
about Arizona and real estate is, so I've been investing here for 15 years, and it's a grid, man. It's just north, south, east, and west. It's flat, square, and your abs are west and your streets are east, and it's pretty easy. So and the 101 basically is the 101 meets the 202, and just that's Phoenix. So It's considered North Phoenix, but it's over. So the north it overlooks obviously the south and the east.
Okay, so the 200 store bonus. What happens if you don't hit 200 stores? It just gets paid less.
No, you get paid guaranteed 200. We expect to have 200 locations by August.
Okay.
But if we don't, let's just say you cut the check today, so by January 31st of next year, if we're at 50 stores, you still get paid for 200 stores.
Okay. This group really loves your ringtones. This is an interesting group. You guys know that you can turn ringtones off, right? That's a thing. In 2025, there's this new technology that allows you to switch it off. It's pretty amazing. Okay, cool.
Is there a class for that? I need a class on how to use the other 98% of my phone.
If you just, you know what? You'll make plenty of money if you just pick up the phone, which you and I did, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, the collateral, awesome. Do you guys have the BPO you could send me on those?
Yeah, I meant to do that. I can do that. That part of my phone I know how to use so far.
Do you guys have any Arizona locations?
Yeah, we don't have them open yet, but we have them in development. We have Happy Valley,
Okay.
the Lake Pleasant, Walmart in Peoria, and then Avondale.
Okay. And
Those will be open mid-month.
thinking bigger, right, beyond the 200K. 200K is a great start, but let's just create a world where I could raise you 2 million. It wouldn't be my money. It would be somebody else's money, right? So if I brought somebody else's money to the table, they would get a similar return to what my 200K would be. Is there a way that I can make money on top of their return for bringing that $2 million to the table?
Yes.
Okay. And that's an easy thing to do. So for example, if you gave, let's say we did, I know you can't force this, but if you had the ability to fill out some of the locations here in Arizona, I could stop by and actually create videos and send them out to my group of investors and say, hey, here you go. I mean, if they're outside of Arizona, I'd have to fly and do the thing, like, hey, it's real, here we are, here's the address, here's the thing, here's the contracts, here's the money coming in, here's the P&L, da-da-da-da. That's a pretty easy thing to go get a couple $1 million. What would you say is your biggest bottleneck? Capital? People?
Capital and people, but the capital would bring people.
Okay, so you have capital. Let's say you wave that off the table. What's your next biggest bottleneck?
There isn't. This thing sells itself. It's just getting it out there and having the people to.
Okay, so you'd need a salesperson to sell these people on these locations, or are these locations?
Yeah, he
more-
had a staff. We've had a staff for a while, and then he was flying out doing a lot of the trainings
Okay.
of the stores that would come in, so because their salespeople sometimes would just sit in the back of the store, and all the people are walking by. He's like, he would go to a Walmart for like 2 hours and just watch these people. He's like, what the frick are they doing? They're just sitting in the back, and all the people are walking
That's
by
what you
with their
get for a
groceries.
$16 employee, I guess. Huh?
Right? So,
Why
Yeah.
would you care if it's not your water purification company? Why would you care if
It
they
was a
sell?
rev share system.
rev share.
Yeah, back then.
Okay, back then it was a rev share. So you're like, bro, you're stealing all my money, just sitting back here and not doing anything.
Right.
Okay, cool. So you'd go there, train them, leave. And these companies weren't even training their own people? That's how bad it was?
that's how bad. Well,
They just
it was
assumed.
that, and then a lot of it was just misreporting.
Okay, got it.
So the solar situation really put us in the capital need because that was 95% of our business. And it left us with 30
Vacant
empty
stores.
that I
That
still
we were-
had to pay for.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took away a lot of what we had
Built up.
built up.
30
But it's
stores
like-
for what, 6 months?
Yeah, well, 6 months, and then you have to white box them again, and a lot of them were left in not the greatest shape.
So you had to go and clean up 30 stores.
No.
So, in some ways, you're like starting from scratch.
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
On the others.
Go ahead.
Do you have research on who the most successful types of companies would be there? And then is there any risk that you guys lose your contracts?
Well, I guess there's always risk of that, but no. The program itself has been running 20 years. We've been in it 4. We've taking a beating. For them, there's really no risk to Walmart. They have these spaces open. It's just a revenue stream for them that they just didn't have. They're also going to allow us to go into Sam's Clubs as well with the water.
I mean, you guys are at this situation where you don't really need 200 stores to make a crap ton of money. I mean, you need, really at the end of the day, you need 10 stores to make 50 grand a month.
Yeah.
And he's actually been, and that's down the road, where he's doing negotiations with Myers on the Midwest. And then,
Is Myers like Fred Myers?
No, it's just Meyer.
Myers, okay.
And then,
Like Walmart. Same
Okay.
Yeah.
concept. And we're talking to Kroger and for marketing stations, not the actual space, but just the booth setup, face-to-face marketing.
Okay. But Walmart seems to be the best move, just because you have 200 people a minute or 200 people an hour walking by. Interesting. Okay. 200K goes in your pocket. How fast could you fill up 10 stores?
Oh,
30 days?
yeah. We'll have that done in no time.
So you'd be the salesperson currently until you guys get somebody else on board. So you'd be calling the water purification company.
So it's myself, but there's also Perfect Filter as a company. They're just putting their own dealers in, and they are locked into that water network. They sit on the board of 17,000
17,000.
dealers that, everyone that they speak to wants to be involved.
Got it. Okay. So they basically, Perfect Filter has their local dealers in that geo. They would basically ask that dealer, hey, do you want to open up one of these stores? Got it. Okay, cool. So it's all independent contractors that basically have their own little franchise or what have you for Perfect Filter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
One sale pays their costs. Everything else is for the month is
Wow.
great.
That's how much those filters are?
Yeah. They're about 10 to 12,000 for the full house. 50% margin.
They're primarily just setting appointments then.
yeah.
Because that's a big ticket sale to try and close right there in Walmart. So
Correct, they're setting appointments.
they're setting appointments, salesperson goes out, closes the deal,
Right.
and they're selling these things at 12K. Their profit margin's got to be 70, 80%. So they're covering their rent costs off one deal. Salesperson got paid, everybody got paid. They go sell one of these a week. They're making 30 grand or whatever. The dealer's making good money. It's worth their time. You guys are making $4,500 for that location, or maybe more. What is that? 45.
No.
Oh yeah, you're making 2,000 on their location plus the 2,500. Is every Walmart have the same size, like 600 square feet?
No, but
So they're
our
not
cost
all
doesn't
exact.
change per
Okay.
size.
Cost doesn't change, and your ability to have two vendors in one location doesn't change either.
No.
Okay, cool.
But we won't always have two vendors in one location.
There's some that you'll just have one.
So we'll make a minimum of 2,000 per store.
Got it. Okay. That. What would you say if you had 100 stores? How many of them do you get the $4,500 bump?
I would say half.
Half. Okay, cool. I mean, it's kind of hard to say no to a deal like this when you have collateral against it. It's almost like, where do you write the check?
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll run most of this yourself for a couple of months until you have some cash flow coming in. Then what you'll do is you'll hire an admin team or a salesperson that's calling up these, or not even calling up, but basically just working with Perfect Filter on the next 5 locations, the next 5 locations, the next 5 locations type of thing. If they don't want more in certain geos, you would just find a different vendor, and you have outbound calls going to these people saying, hey, would you like to fill up a Walmart store?
Yeah. We let Perfect Filter handle the water side. We'd handle
The second location.
Yeah, we'd handle roofers, plumbers, tile guys typically, right?
Okay.
and we do a lot of marketing for the water side as well because we have a deal with Perfect Filter where if we bring our own water companies in, we just require that they buy their equipment, which they're buying anyway.
Okay.
Then we get 17% of everything they buy as well.
All right, awesome. Hey, Jade, can I introduce you? Jade's back there. She lives in BFE. There's this little town called BFE down by Santan or Queen Creek.
Halfway to Tucson.
Yeah, the traffic was abnormally heavy today.
Is it Queen Creek?
Yeah.
I had to drive in the HOV lane the whole way here.
I always use maps because it knows about accidents and And it took me on a wild goose chase today.
So this is Jade. So here's what I would do on this deal. A couple of things. The first thing I would do is we would verify the BPO on the properties.
Oh, yeah, I gotta send that to you.
And then structure, I call Matt Sorensen, my attorney. We draft up an
Matt's your
agreement.
attorney?
Matt Sorensen, yeah.
Oh, he's my attorney, too.
He's great.
He's
Yeah.
one of my best friends, or not best friends, one of my good friends. I've known
He's
him
one of
for-
the best people
yeah,
on the planet. Yeah,
on
Matt,
the planet.
He's
yeah.
great. So I'd have Matt draft up an agreement. You guys approve it. And then I have a lending committee in my business. The gentleman's name is Bo that runs all my like approvals and all that kind of stuff. And we could wire the money pretty simple.
That's good.
Bo, that used to work for merchants.
I don't know where Bo was. Bo ran a $5 billion fund and I was able to recruit him. He lives in Miami.
Oh, I don't know.
He's our portfolio manager, and he just a single dude out of Miami eating the best food on the planet and working virtually. It's good for him because he's a late riser, so 8 o'clock our time's 11 o'clock his time, so it's right on time. But yeah, Bo's our head of our lending committee, so he would approve the agreement, go through all that kind of stuff. If Matt's your attorney, maybe I'd have somebody else represent me, so you don't have a conflict of interest with Matt. It's here, Arizona. The agreement would be Arizona. Because we're gonna use the 2 pieces of land as collateral of theirs, so we would do it all here in Arizona. Man, those 2 lots, that's somebody that's gonna live there, probably that's gonna buy those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the views are crazy.
Cave Creek. Okay,
It's not in
Looking
Cave
at the
Creek. It's
city.
on Cave Creek Road. It's in Phoenix. It's south of the 101.
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Like Barron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right by that Costco that's up there,
Okay, yeah.
but on a little farther west there.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great area. That's like the best school district in the whole state is up in that little
Yeah,
pocket up there.
85032.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody have any questions while you're here? The ringtone Android gang. You've asked for it. I'm giving it to you all day today. We ain't stopping on the Android thing. Even Bill, I'm gonna hammer you.
As soon as I sent that message yesterday, I'm like, oh dang,
Anybody else have an iPhone that could
did you know
not
that?
text the group?
you're texting.
You guys were all fine texting the
Oh,
group?
yeah. Is there another option?
Yeah, on iPhone, unbelievable.
Oh, there is? What's
Do
it
you,
called?
he's your partner, and you are okay with him having an Android? Does that not drive you wild?
iPhone.
That's
I've never
a
heard of
long time
iPhone.
ago.
There was some, yeah.
Anybody have any curiosities, questions?
I would just be curious about it sounds like you have the water side down, but the other side would concern me a little bit, just because I'm envisioning those locations where they have those vendors sitting in those spaces, and like you said, there's usually somebody sitting back there messing with their phone, like there's not much activity going on, so that would kind of be my
Yeah, so the other side, it's not a side, can I do
Yeah,
this?
of course, yeah.
So, all of this is water, and then they have just a little roof up front.
Oh, okay, cool.
It just gives them access to the Walmart audience, and at the end of the day, all they're doing is talking to the people that walk by. All of that space is not necessary
It's not
because
necessary, yeah.
it's more of a,
It's more just like a little mousetrap.
yeah.
It's just to get them to come sit down, set an appointment for somebody to go out and meet with them.
Yeah, the TI is minimal, and there's a sign, and
And they pay the TI.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't do, that's all we pay. They don't even have, there's no electricity cost.
Just a flat fee.
It's a flat fee.
Simple. Okay. Well, send me the BPO.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, send that over and let's take a look at it. And then next step, I think, is just to put an agreement together, have our team look at the lots as collateral, and take the next step. Have our attorneys draft something up and get moving.
Sounds good.
Pretty simple stuff. Congrats, man. That sounds like a cool contract. How'd you guys come on that?
So I've been trying to get into water forever. I mean, into Walmarts, and I couldn't. I was in the solar business myself. I found another company that was doing kind of what we're doing now. Got in through them.
My Home Renovator.
Yeah, that's the name of the whole program. Partnered with them to have my own niche in there. That's it. But, you know, they started us off with one location as a company. We did really well in Avondale here. Gave us a couple more. We did really well. And then we broached the subject of partnering on just doing solar. Got that done and knocked that out the park for the first couple of years. And then, you know, it's,
People skimming the top.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that solar experience actually allowed us to get the flat rate, which is just going to be much better for everyone involved.
Okay, cool. You guys built the rapport with the people at Walmart, which makes this a lot easier for you guys to go and do it again.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Send that over, and
Sent.
thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming down here and meeting us.
Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't have been in the boardroom and you had random 20 Canadians around you.